Let's have Kyntäjä's presentation. Please, Eva.
Okay, my presentation is about labor migration and about the challenges and with problems also and opportunities which refer to this labor migration. And firstly, I would like to give a short overview about the broader context of migration. Then some words about integration policy, which is actually very important topic now in European unions. And finally, I would like to highlight some points regarding opportunities which are involved in migration when the place fair, so-called. Now, about broader background. First, there is an economic crisis which has caused great impacts, really profound impacts on European economies, also in European labor markets, and actually on all broader social environment. And also certain policy decisions have actually caused and contributed to current huge unemployment situation and also social crisis. Of course, it depends which governments and which political decision we are talking about. And well, I myself have been representing Finnish trade unions in the European Commission in the advisory committee on free movement of workers, and also have been representing trade unions in European Trade Union Confederation. And I have been really observing the huge differences in well, all kind of actually culture in the countries which are represented there. And it's about, well, tripartite cooperation. It's about the situation of immigration in different countries. We can't, for example, it's hard to compare the situation, for example, in Finland, to the situation in Italy or other southern or also Central European countries, where the amount of immigrants and foreign citizens is totally something different, for example, compared to Finland or to previous Soviet Union republics, like Baltic states, where, well, the definition of migrant actually means totally something different, which is understood in other countries. So sometimes it's actually a bit terrifying, this idea of harmonization of European migration policy, European integration policy, harmonization of immigration directives, because well, situation and policy is so different in different countries. And also about this broader background which influenced the whole migration situation and policies is this global refugee crisis which is happening now. This has caused totally new situation in European Union and in European labor markets. And like Kari Tapiola already described, there is actually not a clear distinction difference, well, in respect to labor market when you speak about migrant workers and, for example, refugees who have got residential permit and are totally actually in the same position in the labor market, they can work. So, and also asylum seekers on certain conditions, they can work. They can also, when they come, for example, to Finland as asylum seekers, they can apply also a working permit. When they found, for example, a working place, then they can get residential working permit. So they are so combined, actually, this refugee and asylum seeker situation is very much actually linked to migration processes. But now some words about the key challenges facing labor markets. I speak a bit from the perspective of trade unions. So for us, the main challenge is the problem of dual labor market. So for our perspective, the same standards should apply to migrant workers and to native workers. This is very important to us, and it's unfortunately it isn't like this. And it's important to do everything to fight against social dumping. And also one key challenge is how actually to protect what do we have actually to protect social rights of workers. And because there have been, a lot of cases where social rights have been violated, especially when we are talking about posting workers. And a lot in construction sector, but also in other sectors, in agriculture sector, for example, there are a lot of cases where social rights have been violated. One very important challenge refers to integration questions, how to promote good, effective, smart, integration of immigrants and also, refugees to the labor market. And sure, trade unions will insist equal treatment and right-based labor mobility policies, and as well, we insist respect for collective agreements, and it's interesting to see, for example, what is going to happen in Finnish policy. And we really would like that, for example, governments will not seek new ways of engaging unpaid workers and unpaid working without salaries anymore. And of course, this refers not only to migrant workers, but also to native population. Just one example about internship. There should be learning. There should be more learning, but not doing the work for reduced or no salary at all. So actually the main principle, for us, is decent work, the question of decent work, equal work for equal pay. Then some words about integration policy. Labor migrants, they are not just labor force, they are human beings, they are citizens, not necessarily citizens of the host country, but they are also often family members. They bring with them also the spouses, the children. And it's very important that family members of migrant workers should also have access to integration services, to integration system. And actually, a successful, a fair, smart integration policy should require the commitment of administrative branches to equality, non-discrimination, and also prevention of all kind of racism, as well as promotion of positive attitudes. It's more easy to say about these things and to do it really in reality. One very important challenge regarding integration is, of course, language of the host society. And this language learning should be integrated into other studies, for example, vocational studies. And integration should be more flexible and more efficient. And integration training should be more closely linked to the working life, so that after this integration courses, persons really have some experiences and have an easy access to labor market. And it also requires cooperation with the companies and labor market organizations so that it can be done actually. And then some words about challenges for effective integration, which is actually very important nowadays. Question of fundings. Well, fundings for employment, public employment services and integration services, which are part of public employment services, they should be guaranteed. And I'm not sure that this is going to be like this. It's very important, this assessment and validation of immigrant skills, also recognition of foreign qualifications and diplomas. This should be developed, and this is good that it's already involved in this new integration policy, integration program in Finland. And education and integration trainings, they should be more tailored according to already existing skills, professional skills, and also the need of labor market. Well, some words about refugees, refugee crisis and labor market. This also is a link to this whole European Union disseminating and these harmonized policies. European leaders really need to implement some common European solutions to the refugee crisis. And more to a concrete level, then there is really quite a big risk that those asylum seekers who don't get residence permit, don't get this refugee status, they can fall into this irregular situation. They stay to the country illegally, and they work, and so this will lead to huge problems to undeclared work, of course, and other disruptive effects on labor market, also crime, organized crime, and also those people could be victims of, for example, organized crime. So here I see also big challenges which comes to refugee policy and the solutions and the decisions made. And the last, not least, which comes more to this labor migration. It seems that the biggest problem is how to get the balance, the right balance between labor demand and labor supply. Because there's very often, for example in Finland, there's a big mismatch between job seekers, B is missing here, mismatch between job seekers and job vacancies. There are a lot of free vacancies, for example, and there are a lot of unemployed, more unemployed workers, but they actually don't meet. This is a big problem. And there's really a need to identify labor and skill shortage, and also to anticipate the needs of labor market. Because often the reason why there are job vacancies is not that there are actually not potential workers who want to work, but it refers to conditions, that there are part-time jobs, the salary is too small, and so on. That, for example, it's impossible to live, to pay your rent, and so on. So this is often the reason why there are so many job vacancies. And the last, thing what I would like to say is this political dimension. Attracting foreign labor is politically difficult, and it's because the unemployment rate is high. But nevertheless, migrant workers can feel the shortage in labor market when there is a real shortage, not because of the bad conditions, Also, the skilled and qualified workers can fill the skills gap, and highly qualified experts and investors would generate innovations and boost our economies. With those positive things, I'd like to